Alright guys, welcome back to VALORANT News. Massive roster updates going down last night, especially with Aspas' next destination looking more and more likely to now be Bleed Esports. It seems like deja vu in the VALORANT world at the moment. We have a top quality, highly rated player from Europe joining Gen.G, potential Sleeper Agent Part 2, artist potentially now to Durka this season. But we also have an absolutely top rated duelist, best of the best potentially in the Americas, going over to Bleed Esports. Will it end, if this comes true, for Aspas the same way that it ended for Yay? Can this possibly be a good idea? Very much intrigued to your thoughts in the comments below. Hit the like button if you enjoy. Subscribe if you're new as always. I greatly appreciate it. Loads of new subs over the last few days. Massively appreciate it, guys, as ever. Let's crack right on. First of all, GC Pacific, of course, it gets to this part of the season. October is just getting underway, and therefore, as you full well know, Game Changers starts to kind of rise up, and there's probably going to be a fair bit of Game Changers drama over the next month or so. But yeah, Game Changers Pacific, obviously that's happening now, and then the World Championship for Game Changers comes up in November time, and then the season gets back underway, of course, for next year in the not too distant future. But before then, we've got to find out what these rosters are going to be, and there is still many questions around what that's going to be doing as it stands. Les is joining Vitality per our understanding, and we're going to talk a bit more about this in a second, because the guy that first talked about this has said various other things, including Bleed Aspas, so we'll get to that in a few minutes time. Purist, though, he has been running it up. So Na'Vi apparently are looking at former M80 coach Happy. So M80, they've blown it up. They failed to make it through Ascension and win it for the second year in a row. They've blown up their roster. They might try again next year. We'll see what they decide to do. But Happy, of course, former legendary CS player, Happy and another 0 and a third. You know, many of you guys will know that clip, of course, from Sembler on Inferno Banana back in the day. But yeah, he became M80's coach. He is now potentially going to Na'Vi to coach them for the upcoming season. Na'Vi are certainly looking to turn it around, because they had a pretty good 2023. This year was not good at all per their standards. Of course, Artis is looking for what his next opportunity might potentially be as well. After FPX, then NRG, then Na'Vi, then what next, right? That is a serious question. Apparently, Gentle Mates, they're looking to sign Zypan as well. So there's so much happening right now. But yeah, verbal agreement, things could change. But for now, that is a theory anyway, that Gentle Mates and Carmine Core both trying to strengthen their respective rosters. But we are seeing many a player from the Americas certainly getting poached effectively by other regions, and that seems to be continuing. This is interesting for the Americas, I will say, because if you're looking at the Americas, the top teams are going to be competitive, but there will be teams out there in the Americas, possibly even the likes of Evil Geniuses or whatever. Many of the players that they could have signed, potentially high quality players from Tier 2 in the Americas, and Tier 2 in the Americas is absolutely stacked, everyone knows it. They could be joining, and some of them will join America's teams. Some of them, however, are getting poached. There is a rumour that Flyer has been linked to Evil Geniuses, but they may only be offering him, you know, the minimum salary or something, and Flyer has decided to go to KOI. Seems like they're offering him more, and we are now seeing many talented players, you know, Flyer, the IGL, for example, of the MXS team, going over to other regions. Specifically this year, it seems EMEA, which is a bit of a surprise, just because, you know, it's been a bit of a known thing that EMEA, of the salaries, significantly lower in general than what the Americas teams are paying. That may not necessarily last forever, and therefore there's been questions on that. But yeah, a number of players from the Americas going over to Europe this season is pretty exciting. Last year it was mainly going over to the Pacific side, and that's going to continue, and we'll get to that in a couple of minutes time for sure. But also this is true for Sadak as well. He's gone over to KC. Of course, we actually saw yesterday from Zach, their coach, who says, we did 2 months of tryouts. We started the 17th of July. Only Giants started a bit earlier than us. Everyone else started so late. So, yeah, 17th of July. They started running trials for their roster for the new season. Sagetsu, Martin, Elite, and Ave, that's the current rumour anyway that the roster is going to be. So we'll see if they confirm that, or if it comes true, if it's actually any good. But look, they've been working a while to get these type of deals done. But there will be some players from North America staying in the Americas, and that seems to be true for Demon 1. Lembo's now talking about this. Many people have talked about this, including actually Liv themselves over the last few days, on Demon 1 joining Leviathan Leviathan. I will say this Photoshop is incredibly good. It actually looks real, does it? Like, this genuinely looks like Lev might have confirmed this already. But actually, no, it is a Photoshop of this image, of course, of, well, Demon 1 in an NRG jersey. You've got to say, it's a pretty damn good Photoshop job between the two of these pictures. So, anyway, Lev, NRG are apparently coming to an arrangement with Demon 1 to join their roster. Reportedly, this is basically now a done deal, and it is interesting from the NRG side. I mean, Era FPS, as he points out here, Chet, in order to subsidize Demon 1's payment and buyout to get him on the team last year from EG, Chet, the coach, had to pay a bit of money for that out of his own pocket that maybe he was expecting back from NRG, maybe not, I don't know. Then they benched him, now they're going to sell him to Lev. That's what we currently understand. So it's interesting they're not keeping hold of him, because it would be quite easy, I would say, to keep, okay, Ethan, FNS, Som, bring Verno in for crashies, and then, you know, Demon 1 will stay around, right? Like, that could make a bit of sense. They've decided, though, not to do that based on trials, either. I don't think Demon 1's the right fit. He's the right fit from a skill POV, the guy's nice with it, but from a personality POV, maybe with FNS or their new coach in Bonka, I don't know, maybe it wasn't going to be working. So they're looking to sell Demon 1 to Lev, that's the current understanding, and of course, if they do that, then Lev are likely to get rid of Aspas, is our current understanding, and therefore also NRG need another player to replace him. Now, yesterday, this was rumoured by Alejandro, who is very reliable. Usually what he says comes true. But this, I think, is a bit of a question. So Marder of the MXS team, of course, we saw the rumours the other day that he was, you know, not able to fly or whatever. I don't know. Apparently that's fine. So all well, maybe he was trolling. I don't know. But the rumour has it that Marder is going to join NRG as their duelist. So effectively replacing Demon 1. Talented player, for sure. Has been linked to other teams, for sure. And well, we got reactions such as this. It's pretty rare that teams or players will come out and emphatically respond to any of these rumours, because usually they're true, so they don't want to say anything. But in this case, Som says, is man just guessing? Like, what is going on? Are you making this up? And then Marder says he's clueless. Superman says, welcome to EG. So, yeah, seems the implication anyway is that he ain't going to NRG, which wasn't the rumour anyway. Like, until yesterday, this was really the first we had seen of this Marder to NRG rumour, which, like, I can see the, you know, the vision behind it, but it wasn't the recent rumour. The recent rumour was Marder to Leviathan. That was the rumour. So, and that might make sense as well. And especially when you've got NRG guys, as in Som, and Marder himself, effectively implied, no, that ain't true, what are you talking about? So, I kind of doubt that's actually happening, but intrigued your thoughts in the comments below. What we think is happening is what Juan mentions in this VLR post just last night, effectively. So, let's talk about this, because this guy was one of the first to mention Leicester Vitality, and we're pretty sure now that's happening. And the rumour is as follows. So Leviathan looking to finalise their team with both Demon 1 and Marder. That is the rumour. So yeah, Marder to Lev. That's like the belief right now is where he's going to go. Sentinels, Bang and Narrate. That's the rumour. They're getting Bang off 100T. Narrate's coming in as well. That's going to be their team of 5 alongside Zek and Zelsis and John QT. Apparently those deals are like done, and therefore Xander is going to go to 100T to replace Bang. So we've talked about that over the last few days. It makes a fair bit of sense. We'll see if anything gets confirmed like that. Loud are having doubts. One player really wants DG Zan, but the coaching staff prefers Sato to come in, so they've got to make a decision there. Flyer was apparently trialled by EG and they wanted him, but he's chosen to go to KOI instead. Maybe because more money, I don't know. And, well, Durka is in negotiations with both NRG and Vitality. The NRG thing is the interesting question, isn't it? Because, you know, we saw Ardis go to NRG last year, a couple of years ago, and maybe Durka coming aboard as well could very much so be a possibility. But this is the big one, really. Aspas has turned down all tryouts in NA and is heading to Bleed. That is quite emphatic. And to be honest, it does align with what we have seen elsewhere. The people that make the spreadsheets, I've not seen Aspas linked anywhere to any North American teams. You know, you'd have thought that Sentinels would have at least thought about it. NRG would have at least thought about it, right? These other organizations should have trialed Aspas if they're interested, and they should be interested. So the conclusion, therefore, is that Aspas isn't interested in them, and we're pretty sure he's going to the Pacific. Of the organizations that have the money and that make the most sense, Bleed is up there, and apparently that's where he's going to go. But it's like, wow, what a timeline, right? Ye goes from being a dominant force in the Americas, goes to Bleed. You know, obviously he had the interim after the Cloud9 drama, the disguised stuff, and then he goes to Bleed, has a bit of a nightmare over there, really, like with the team culture and the chemistry and everything like that. Yes, they have money to spend Bleed Esports, but the idea of Aspas being, you know, the face of Valorant in some respects, apart from maybe you could argue Kankang, certainly on the Chinese side, best player in the world, heading over to Bleed to maybe follow in the footsteps of what happened with Ye, just seems like an interesting decision, to say the very least. I actually don't think this will end as badly as people maybe are expecting it to, but I don't expect it to end especially well. Like, you know, is Aspas trying to, you know, win another world championship, or what's his goal? Maybe it's fine. Maybe he goes over there, makes a bag, gets to live in a country he loves to be in. Like, I'm sure he's making a sensible decision on some level. Whether it's a sensible decision for what he might, you know, still be able to achieve in Valorant is maybe another question, but it's not like I don't get it, right? So, yeah, fascinating if this comes true. Very much interested in your thoughts in the comments below. And this, another spreadsheet going around yesterday, certainly from the Brazilian perspective, but also looking at the other rosters. And yeah, Aspas nowhere to be found in the Americas here, but very unlikely to stay on LEV as it presently stands. So these are the rumours of these respective teams right now. Very much interested in your thoughts, as always, in the comment section below. Hit the like button if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new, take care, and I'll see you next time.